Hello guys, and welcome to another tactics tutorial. This time I'm going to show you the new tactic that I fully adapt, and as you can see I had a bad start because I tried to play other tactics with this new update that we have with the International Cup and everything, and it didn't work. And because most of the time I was facing the sweaty meta players, and they, well, you can see on my road epic matches, you can see how I lose the close matches and how they time waste and everything. But then I try to make the tactics to perfection, and I figure out some things out, and some things are actually cancelling the sweaty meta. And with this build that currently we are playing, this tactic can be a new anti-meta and meta at the same time against those sweaty meta plays where they play 4 at the back with defensive on fullbacks and basically creating them on long ball counter and possession style. They're creating them to have four center backs at the back, because that is the current exploit in the game. And honestly guys, don't be that guys. Don't be that guys that are using the exploits that fundamentally disrupts gameplay for the other persons, and also disrupts the play itself for everyone to enjoy, because this mainly is to create the team and play football, not sweaty meta, and thinking that if your name is up at the leaderboards, is going to give you something in more life. Well, it's not. So without further ado, let's show you the results, because it took me quite some time to get accustomed to my players playing that, and I will show you the results. So I started, I think, this is when I started this new formation that I'm using, and look at this: win, 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 lost, but it was difficult to understand why I lose this. Close loss, draw, again win, 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 win. Sorry, lost, win. Difficult to comprehend why I missed chances at the end of the match. Win, 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 and win. So yeah. And the matches I'm going to also post on the channel as well, so you can see that I'm not bullshitting about anything. And yeah, the percentage when I started this was 33, and now it's 56. So it increases a lot, because the fundamental things that I learned and what I watched from my players is that when I use Nedved as a roaming flank, he was not doing this and cutting in here like this, what usually roaming flanks do. But my Pavel Nedved, because I don't know if it's a broken mechanic or broken something, he actually played like this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this. So he was all over the pitch and making the holes on the left side, but he never positioned himself like I wanted to. So in that case, I did put Nedved into center midfield and secondary striker or advanced midfielder, because then he actually plays like this and moving like this and not dropping at the something else. So yeah, the starting formation, and I use Queen Counter for this, is defensive midfielder Makelele, and you need to have Destroyer or Anchorman as the defensive midfielder. A box-to-box Patrick Vieira or any kind of box-to-box player is good here. Orchestrator can do the job, but with the Orchestrator you cannot defend that much. He can just be usable to quickly pass the instantaneous killer passes to your in front three, because basically this formation is free for free, with the dropping secondary striker with Messi, who is creative playmaker, but still he moves like this, like this, like this, but mostly he is here in the center and collecting the balls that are actually cleared by the opposition defenses. Fullbacks are used to be on the flanks, as you can see, Lizarazu and Arnold, but you can use any other player who has good defensive set of skills, because you need to have all-around players who can do that. And for instance, in this formation, I combine at the back three. I combine destroyer, build up player, and extra frontman. And sometimes when I'm chasing the result, Bastoni is actually moving here and being actually a center midfielder in the attack and joining the attacks, which is good. And then if you use double 1-2 pass with him, he is going to run inside. And you can put the ball to Arnold or whoever you have, no matter what. Your extra frontman is going to be here, and then you can cross, and you basically have 3 players who can head the ball into the goal in certain situations, which is good. So I combine extra frontman, I combine destroyer, and destroyer is always, and destroyer is important to be in the mid, not on the sides, just in the mid. The only time when you can use destroyer on the sides is when you have 2 destroyers, and then you have build up in the mid. But if you have 1 destroyer, build up, and extra frontman, then it's going to do the job. I combined also 3 build-ups, and with them you actually have a difficult time defending, because they are always trying to get the ball and pass it and something like that. They are moving too much as a back center midfielder, not as a Bastoni, how he moves into the front. They are actually positioning themselves higher up the pitch and performing as a center midfielders, which is also not a bad idea. But when the opposition has quick counters, and if you have build-ups and if they are slow, then you will have empty space behind your defense line for your opponent to score. So that is why I use the combination with destroyer, extra frontman, and build-up, because build-up in the attack goes here, destroyer goes here, and an extra frontman in the attack goes a little bit higher. But then what I do, so I can always have a back line, good, I put in this in the advanced instructions, I put defensive deep line and deep line on the fullbacks. And what that means, in the time of the attack, if my one fullback goes up, other fullback goes down. So I always have a back line with the 4 players. In the certain situations, if the build-up goes here a little bit, my destroyer in the attack goes a little bit here, Makelele drops here, an extra frontman goes here, an extra frontman goes here in the attack, and look at this. So in the attack, this is how they position themselves. This is how they actually position themselves in my attack. So there is a back 4 if my Lizarazu goes up in the attack. But if it's the other way around, again, he goes up on the pitch, then again you catch the drill. So it's always a tiptoeing scale. Who is going to go up and who is going to drop down. And because I have a deep line on them, they are moving back and in the defense they are actually dropping deeper and creating back 5, with the Makelele as also deeper, because that's his position. Then it's basically back 6. If Vira drops as well, because he's box to box, that's back 7. So when you are defending, you have back 7 to stop your opponent. The only downside is when you need to get your ball out of your side of the pitch, you need to use long ball, because if you use conventional passing, there is a slight chance that that the opponent will intercept it and create a counter-attack. Even though if you have 7 at the back, it's always dangerous to just risk normal passing at that point. The only side, if you want to have a pass abilities, then you pass to the Arnold or you pass to Lizard Zoo, and then you run with them and clear the ball. Everyone then goes position themselves as they should, and then you are completely safe. That's because with this formation, it's actually all about making right decisions at the right time, and it takes you a little bit of time to get accustomed to it and to play with it, because it is against the sweaty meta, and then because they play on pass support 1 and they are all about quick passing, then you need to have players capable of creating stop chances for your opponent to have that quick attacks. What I else do is anchoring on Patrick Vieira, so he doesn't roam around, so he moves just like this and in something like this as well, and also defensive on Makelele, and that is the instructions for the offensive side of the formation. For defensive side of the formation, I use it like this. Basically, it's the same principle when you're defending, and they are and they use long ball counter as well, but it's a big difference, because what I do, but basically I do defensive on Makelele as well and anchoring on the Patrick Vieira, but still they move as they should. So Messi is going to be here, here, and here as advanced midfielder, so he's going to roam around. Patrick Vieira is going to do this and this and this, sweep like that, but mostly on this side, so he's going to be there. Makelele is never going to be higher on the pitch than the opposition's half line, so he's going that. Back line is good, and Bastoni in that situation doesn't go as an extra frontman with a quick counter. He just goes a little bit higher like this and position there. But what is the key thing in this setup against the sweaty meta when you are defending and trying to close down the game, or even when you start, because I always start with this counter tactic, because when I play away sides, because when you play away side, even though people will not acknowledge it, slight advantage home sides always have, and then you need to use secondary tactic, because it's like a game of chess. You need to anticipate what your opponent is going to do and what you need to counter. So what I also found out, that even though they are fullbacks, I did something. I put counter target on both of them, and it's not something that is conventional, and both of them are attacking fullbacks, but they're in the long ball counter. Their prime position is to be at the back, but with counter target position they are set up it like this, so they are at the beginning of the match, they are actually here and they are dropping deep, but they are actually positioned here. And when you have the attack, because they are offensive fullbacks, they go up, but they drop deeper. And because they do that, and they are always doing like this, so it's never the same time that they are both up. It's always, if one is up, other is down. So what that means with the counter targets on that, it means that they will not run out of stamina, but they will constantly go like this. And that gives you options. That gives you a lot of options in the attack, because most of the players are actually playing in the mid, and they are passing in the mid. But if you pass to the sides, you create empty pockets for your advanced playmaker to drop in certain position. You get Arnold or whoever you have as a fullback, you have him here, and you have 1-2 pass, and then they will your opponent is going to try to chase someone, and then you will have the open space for that killer pass. So basically, I found out how to create chances and how to disrupt opponents' play, and how to make them chase you instead of you chase him. And that is what I did, and the results show itself, because I'm now on the 9 match unbeaten series. But look at this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 match unbeaten series. So guys, I'm always going to show you some tips and tricks and instructions, and this goes for quick counter and long ball counter. You can use defensive tactic possession style if you have possession style coach. The only downside is runs in the attack, and you need to use a lot of pass and run to have your attackers moving into open space. But if you use long ball counter, then they will do it by themselves freely. But that's all the finances that you need to adjust to your playstyle, how you like to play. But this is actually what will help you against sweaty meta players, because look at this. This is actually sad that top players are actually playing all the same formation. Look at this. Game plan. Look at this. 3 at the back. Defensive on the Hernandez, making him as a 4th center back. In the attack they have 4 options, because PES23 goes a little bit higher, and yeah, and they play on pass support 1, and they just rush until they break your AI. So yeah guys, I'm again, look at this, again the same principle. I'm not saying that they are not good players, I'm just saying that they are exploiting the game mechanics, and I created something that will, when you perfect it, then you will disrupt their game mechanic, because it's actually battle of mechanics, not battle of skills. And because they use pass support 1, they don't use pass support 2 or 3, God knows they will never use pass support 4. And for me personally, if you're a pro player, then you don't need to have any assistance. I'm a casual player, average player, streamer. I used to play tournaments in Serbia on the high level against the Kepa, who is in the top class of the eFootball. Roxa as well. I never beat them. The one thing that ever happened is that I drew against Roxa, but every time he beat me. So yeah. And I'm an average player, and I'm trying, and I figure out how to stop this kind of bullshit and shenanigans. So thank you guys. This tutorial is a little bit longer than I suspected, and longer that's actually needed to be, but the link down below is going to be to my Twitch channel, so you can join every time that I stream. It's Monday, Fridays and Thursdays, 21:30 CET. Also I stream Football Manager as well on Mondays and Fridays as well after the eFootball. So whoever likes anything can join on my channel, ask me anything, join my Discord as well, ask me anything. So yeah guys, thank you for watching, thank you for being a lovely audience. We're going to see each other in the next video, and what can I tell you? Practice and try not to be sweaty metas. Bye bye everyone, bye bye.